What's up? Happy Friday. Happy overcast Friday. Favorite day of the week, man. I don't care what the weather is. So I got a friend in prison. Well, I got two friends in prison. Man, both of them for things that could have been avoided, dude. Like, golly, dude. One of them you know about, Wires. That's the Pantera sound guy. Letting him move in my house, and he went and did what he did with using the computer. So, you know, we know about that one. But what you don't know about is my buddy Scott, right? And Scott's a young guy. He's probably, oh man, Scott's 32, 33 maybe. And he might be a little bit older. But a few years back, Scott's hanging out with one of his friends. We'll call him friend number one, right? And they're out in public, and they run across friend number two. And Scott and friend number one and friend number two are all friends. They all know each other. But I guess friend number two hasn't been around for a while, you know. So Scott and friend number one run into friend number two, and you know, hey, what's going on, guys? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? All that stuff, you know. Well, at the end of the conversation, he's like, hey, listen, guys, if y'all need any Xanax, I might, you know, meeting that out. Give me a call. I got him. All right. Didn't think much of it. Night ends. Everybody goes home. Here's what it is. Oh, I'm fogging up. Woo, clear that. All right, I can see again. A couple days later, next day, a couple days later, friend number one calls up Scott, and he's like, hey, dude, I was thinking about getting some Xanax from friend number two. Can I get his number from you? Scott said, sure, here's his number. Send it to him. I mean, it's not like he didn't know the guy already, so it wasn't a big deal. Friend goes to buy the pills. Don't hear much anything else of it. He takes the pills and dies. They're laced with fentanyl. There's some Silk Road Chinese Xanax. It's not even probably real Xanax, right? Now we're talking about pills that Scott never saw, never touched, just gave a guy a phone number, right? But what he doesn't realize is those drugs are coming from the tail end of a giant investigation involving corrupt police officers and a drive-by shooting and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? It's a big DEA investigation, right? That's where these pills came from. So the kid dies from taking the pills. The cops are like, where'd he get them from? They search the phone, they find the messages. They charge Scott with causing the death of another person. Well, you don't know any of this, right? He's just living his life, right? He doesn't know any of this is going on. One day he comes out of his house, he's got his little stepdaughter with him, they're getting in the truck, and boom, DEA agents surrounding him with guns and all. That's one thing Scott and I both know the feeling of, is the cops raiding you. It's not fun. So they've been building a case, and Scott's somehow got himself caught on the tail end of this. So at some point, the DEA had reached out to Scott to talk to him, but he didn't know what it was about, and he was just like, I don't know, I'm not talking to him. He called a couple of attorneys who said, I wouldn't worry about it, they're not charging you with anything, but he didn't realize they were building him a case. They just hadn't told him yet, because that's what they do. They don't come get you until they know they got you. So this is while I knew, well, okay, so I knew Scott, we worked together. He had left that job and gone to a different job, and while he was there is when all this happened. So I wasn't aware of any of this until it was already too late, and he was signing a deal that he was basically like going to prison for not more than 20 years, right? So anything up to 20 is what the judge could give him. And I was like, dude, for a text message? And he's like, I don't know, that's what they're telling me. And he's got a public defender because he doesn't have any money, and nobody's really supporting him. His family has kind of got their heads in the sand about this, like, oh, they're not going to do anything over a text message. Yeah, they will. This is the federal government. They don't give a shit. You do what they say, or they're going to make an example out of your ass. And it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure it all happened because he didn't go to him when they wanted him to. He he should have went and talked to him. But he didn't know what they wanted to talk about, and he didn't, I don't know, I mean, he didn't have any idea what was happening. He didn't have any information. He didn't really know any of this. Woo! Bro, that was awesome. He didn't have any information to give him, so why would he bother going to see him, you know? So, I find out about this deal, and it's basically like, oh, my court date is next month, and I'm signing this thing, and I'm going. And I was like, oh, damn that. I get on the internet, I start Googling attorneys. I Google best federal, because it's a federal case, best federal criminal attorney in McKinney, Texas, right? I find this guy, I can't remember his name, I'll tell you. He works Scott out a deal. He keeps him out of jail another year or so. And when it's all said and done, he gets 7 years. Which, you know, with federal, you have to serve 80% of your time. And there's not really any, like, programs that take time off. There's a few. So, potentially, he could be out of there in, like, maybe 6 is what we're hoping. He's been in there a couple of years. It's a federal camp, so it's not that bad. But still, man, like, there's a young guy in the middle of his life. And to have, like, 7 years just stolen from you while you're in your prime, sucks. The moral of the story is, if the cops come to you and want to talk to you, you probably should talk to them. Especially if you haven't done anything, you know? You can always kind of make a deal. They wanted him to set people up. You know, this is all after they finally came to him and busted him. They wanted him to set people up. They gave him a bunch of opportunities, and he held to his shit, man. He was solid, bro. He didn't rat nobody out. He took his time, and he's sitting up there doing it right now. And he's a really good guy with a good heart. Loves animals. Loves his stepdaughter. He's not a fighter, he's a lover. And it sucks to know that he's in prison, man. But he's intelligent. And everybody needs a smart guy in jail. I think he'll do good. He's doing good right now, so. And man, look, you know, public safety alert, you know what I mean? If the dope ain't for you, stay out of it. Okay, wait. Don't do drugs. Don't take pills that you don't know where they came from. Don't take any medication not prescribed to you by a doctor. And don't give anybody's phone number who's saying they have medication that is not prescribed by a doctor. I love you guys. I care about y'all a lot. I don't want to see any of y'all in prison, man. It breaks my heart to see him there. He does not belong there, man. He does not belong there. And you know what? It was worse. What was worse than going to prison, right? I mean, what's worse than going to prison? Them like 3 or 4 years leading up to it, with that shit looming over his head every day. Oh, there's a pair of freaking needle nose. We gotta go get them. Damn. Oh well. We gotta go get them needle nose out the road. We could be saving somebody a tire, shit. But it's way too busy, man. We'll get hit by one of these fools. They don't look. Anybody need a rug? They're selling rugs, look. So, we holding it down for you out here, Scott. I miss you, buddy. I wish you were out here. I wish you could see this video right now. But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being part of the channel. I love you guys. Sorry today's so ugly, man. I actually tried to tell a story yesterday when it was beautiful, but I couldn't get it out because it just, I don't know, I get a little emotional, man. I like Scott a lot. It's my boy. You know, I care about my family. I care about my people. Half us ain't even met, and I love y'all. You know what I mean? So you got to imagine how I am about my buddies. I'm fogging up. Look at this. Can you see it? I can't see you. Ah, my nose. I got the sniffles. All right, love you guys. Woo! Watch this. We're about to jump. You ready? Hold on. Jump. Oh. It's cold and slippery out here. Well, I'm just riding like a little bitch. Oh, the commenters are right. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. The commenters are right. Oh, little bitch. R.I.P. Scott. Rest in prison. We'll see you when you get out.